everybody, this is Roxy and I wanted to do a tutorial on a binding method that I kind of modified. It's the Coptic stitch binding method, but all the tutorials I could find were doing it with the cover front and back, and that was part of the whole process. Where with that you would stitch every folio to the cover at the end, where this one isn't working that way, so I had to kind of modify it. So I will show you what I've done. This is one of the books that I just finished. I'm using some old Seven Gypsies gaffer tape. I could leave the binding alone because the stitching is pretty cool. Here's one that's just stitched. So I could leave that as is and it will hold up just fine. It's going to be just fine. But I kind of think it might get a little shop worn in at different craft sales and stuff, because a lot of people might be looking at it. So that's kind of why I opted to do a binding. So I'm doing 7 cards per book to make it a December daily. So there's hopefully enough for 1 through 25, if I did my math right. But here you can see, this is the only card I had a problem with, these real glossy, kind you get in a box. And it kept, when I pulled the stitch, it would slice through the card. So I just put washi down and that combated that. But I'm just doing old cards from Christmases of yore. And I haven't decorated them yet. I did a little bit there, but on some of these I added pages from some Christmas books I have, like that. And then my last card is, of course, Baby Jesus. So, I will get more into the books when I finish them, and I'll do another video. Here's another one I did. I will just show that before. But see, that's the nice part about Coptic stitch binding, is that it lays flat. Perfect for journaling. So you don't have those mounds of folios or, you know, ring binders or whatever. And I wanted something just kind of neat and tidy. So, alright, so I'll show these another time. Okay, so supplies you need are folios. You need an embroidery needle, embroidery floss, 2 or more clamps, a marker, pair of scissors, a piece of cardboard that you cut. Your holes should be spaced probably 1.5 to 2 inches apart for cards this size. A skewer, and that's it. Gaffer tape if you want to use it. Washi tape if you want to reinforce the binders. The binding. I'm gonna do. I already marked my holes, so I will show you how to. What he's doing there. I'll show you how to do that, but without really doing it, because this isn't going to be a book. I'm going to make these separate little folios too. Basically, you want to take your folios, however many you want to do. You can do as many as you want, or as little as you want. And I use these clips. These are great from the Dollar Tree. They really are tight, and you can push it up against there to get it nice and straight. So that's what you want to do. And I'm not going to mark them, but I would use like a marker, magic marker. So let's pretend this is a magic marker. And you just, I did this like 1 3/4 inch. And you start at like not the widest, but probably, you know, the narrowest or the shortest, that is, folio, if they're different like this. And then you'd mark this. You just like mark it all the way across, so you get these little dots going across. And then you go to the next. You know, you just use those for a guide. Go to the next. and mark and go to the next spot and mark. So let's pretend that we actually did it in front of you. So I have these all marked, and they don't look straight right now because this is going to go over here. This one goes here. This one goes there. See what I'm saying? And then this one goes there. So they're kind of like what I just had. There. Alright, I just moved it again. Okay, so now we want to put our, I use a safety pin, or you can use a tack or something, or like a push pin to do your holes. And I've actually already done these because I'm going to tell you a big secret. I've filmed this video 8 million times. So put it down, that's your cover. And then I just go through all, make your holes, and just make sure you keep putting your folios down because you want to start with there's baby Jesus being born. Okay. Then for your thread, you can use embroidery floss, which where did I put it? There it is. And you only want like 2 strands of the embroidery floss because it doesn't need to be very, very thick. And this is really old embroidery floss, and it's been giving me a headache all day. That's why it took so many times to film it, because it would get all bunched up. Okay, 1. So I have 7 folios to go 7 lengths, 1 length per folio. And I'm not even counting because I'm talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I go a little more for good measure, just in case. Now I only want 2 strands, so I'm going to do this off camera because you do not want to hear all my grunts and groans and pleas for help. So I'll be back. I know there's a secret trick to doing, splicing the embroidery floss, because I used to embroider a lot when I was younger, but I don't remember what that was. So then you want to wax your thread, otherwise it just is a mess. Especially this older stuff. This is all old cotton. I think the newer stuff's probably polyester or whatever, so it doesn't tangle as much. Oh, this candle smells so good. Okay. And then we need a thread. You need a needle, embroidery needle. Isn't that cool? I got that from the Minnesota Judicial Branch. It's a little gavel. Cute. So, here we go. Thread the needle. Alright, now if I come out of this alive. Okay, now this is my cover, so you're going to work from the back to the front. So you want to put all your cards down. Start with your last card, which is Christmas morning opening presents. You come down in the first hole, leave a nice tail, and we're going to make, this is the only time we're going to use the skewer, because we're going to make loops for the next folio, and it's the only time you need to do this. So you're just going to put that down. I'm going to put these way up there. Okay, so you want to go down the first hole and leave a tail. This floss is like got a mind of its own. It creates its own little problems just to give me a hard time. And then go back, loop around the skewer so you can make a little loop. And then go down the next hole, and you're going to go around that skewer again. If you've got this floss from, God knows where. Okay. And then go back up the hole. So you gotta make one more loop. So if you, however many holes you have, make one less loop. The top one doesn't get a loop, but the rest of them do. Okay, and then just come out this top one. And check that everybody's happy. So you grab the next card and you come up the first hole. Down into this one. Oops. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I do that. And then you're going to catch that loop, the first one here. And go back up the hole. I hate doing that. There. And then go to the next hole and go back down. And I'm going to catch that loop, and we can tighten before we tie this thing off. And then go back up that hole, hanging onto the skewer. And then go down to the next hole. And then take the skewer out, tighten that, and go back up the hole. Okay, now we can tie this off. and snip it. So now we can kind of tighten these a little bit. Okay, skewer's done. Now we take the next folio and here's my modification. So now to get back out this hole, we're going to go under this. This is where I modified it because we got to come back out because we don't have a cover to connect to. At least nothing I saw made sense. So then go back down the hole. We're going to catch this stitch and go through this hole and go down this next hole. Give it a little tug. And we're going to catch this stitch right here. And this is where you're kind of weaving across the binding. And then go back up this hole. Catching this stitch lets you go back without and then go back up this hole. And then we're going to go down this hole. Catch the stitch. And go back down the hole. Now this is not long enough for this top stitch, and this will be fine. So now we're going to catch this stitch here to go back down the hole. For our next folio. Okay, so you grab the next folio. First stitch, grab this stitch. Go back up this hole. Go to the next hole and go down. The only time you're grabbing these stitches is when you're at an end. Okay, then we're going to grab this stitch and go back up this hole. Having a little moment here. There. Go down this hole. Grab the stitch. And go back down the hole. And then grab this stitch and go back down the hole. That's the modification there. Okay. So we're getting there. Now we're going to grab this one, and this has an extra hole. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to leave it alone. And I could have left that first card alone too. Oops, did I grab my stitch? Yeah. Alright, so grab the stitch, go up the hole, go down here. Grab another stitch. And go back down the hole. It's like Alice in Wonderland. Go to the next stitch. Grab your stitch. And go back down the hole. Then you're going to grab this stitch and go back down your hole. And then I think I am going to do this extra hole. So I got to go back up the hole. Sorry about that. 'Cause I just noticed these cards are big too. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Just go back up the hole. Thinking I only had a couple of long cards, but I don't. And so I'm going back up the hole to capture that last stitch, or last hole. There. And then we'll go this one. We're not going to be grabbing any stitches. I don't know how it's going to work. We could go way over here and leave it loose. Yeah. Okay, so then don't pull it too tight. And then we'll go back up this hole. But this way we can catch the next couple cards. Then I'm going to grab this stitch and go back down. Then I can grab this card. Excuse me. And catch this again. And go up the hole. Okay, and then I go to the next hole. And grab the stitch. And go back up the hole. Oops. Go to the next hole. It's getting really monotonous, isn't it? I know. I'd probably be sleeping by now. And then grab the next stitch. he goes. We're almost done. That's how quick this goes. If you haven't been filming the same thing all day, it's really fun. Back up. Catch the stitch. And go back down. And there's my last one. The cover. See, this is that stupid book. Stupid card. I forgot to reinforce them. I'm gonna go, wait, no. Darn it. Okay, so what did I do? I go up there. What the heck? Oh, I'll just take it out. This is that dumb card. Excuse me, it's the only one it happened to. So I'm going to reinforce them with some washi tape. Kind of annoying. And I really like that green too. Like I set it up so it would work. Alright. Oh well. Alright. I gotta restring this up. Oh. And then I can't see my holes. Gotta make my holes. Okay. Got just enough thread left. Okay, then wind up for the countdown here. See, it's coming through again. Oh, you crappy thing. So that washi didn't work. I have to do more washi. Okay, I had to add more washi, so hopefully it's not going to be a killjoy. Back down, catch the wave, go back in. Don't bum me out. Go back down. I can't see the hole. Is that the little tiny hole? There. Oh, that was close. Catch the wave. Catch the stitch, really. Back up the hole. And the fourth and final hole. It's right there. Trying to get in there. Get it in. There. Catch the stitch. And go back in. There, so that is it. And then we will tie it off. I tie it off twice. And then I'm going to washi it down. So maybe some more. These deers are so cute. Deer, not deers. They are so cute. Okay, I'm gonna just do a little there. Nobody will know. Alright, so there's the book. See how nice that looks. It's a little, see how that is? That could be tighter, but I'm going to put gaffer on it. But anyways, here's the beauty of it, is that it lies flat. So it's perfect for journaling, keeping track of things. There you go. So I'll show you how I do the gaffer tape too then. I think I'm going to use this so it doesn't take away too much from the seam. And you want to do it the shortest width, so from here to here, because otherwise it'll, I don't know, that's what I think. It's like, I don't want it the whole length. That's why. And this tape, it's 10 years old, so it's not really sticky, unless you don't want it to be sticky. So I'm just going to add some glue. Maybe. You want a lot of glue. And I think if I keep at this, I can get so that it's pretty enough to leave visible. Like, it's okay, but I want it to be pretty. Alright, so then go like this, and I want a little bit on either side, as even as possible. That's good. I'm going to do that and then fold up the sides. A little more on this side. And I'm just going to put it between things to let the bitty weight of the card kind of flatten out the spine. So I hope that helps, and I hope you give it a try. If you have any questions, don't ask. No, I'm just kidding. Leave them down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.